Yeah, g'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Luke's Fishing Mission. I'm down the beach this morning, it's about 5:45 a.m. Not the usual time I'll be heading down to the beach for a fish, or to the beach in general, to be honest. But big low tide at the moment, so I'm walking the flats. Gonna try use a few soft vibes and see how we go. Sun's coming up in the background, it's not even up yet. It's a big moon, it was a big full moon 2 nights ago. The moon's still high in the sky, so certainly nice and early. Gonna go walk the flats, flick a few vibes around, and we'll see how we go. It's still pretty cool. It's August, Sunday morning in August, so temperatures are probably in the low teens, but should still be a few blue salmon around, brim, flathead. I'm doing the sort of fishing that people can do on foot. I'm doing it on foot. This is my 8th video now, and 7 of them have been land-based. So what I'm going to pride myself on with Luke's Fishing Mission is doing fishing that is relatable to a lot of people. Anyone can do this stuff. So get off the couch, get out there nice and early, and get amongst it. There's no excuses that you don't need a $100,000 boat or even a tinny to do a lot of this stuff that I'm doing. Like I said, 7 of the 8 videos I've done so far have been land-based. So it's about getting out of your comfort zone, getting out nice and early, and going for a fish, you know. Early bird gets the worm, so we'll see how we go. Stay tuned, eh? Okay, well, I'm now finally out at the creek. That was a fair mission, fair to say. Gonna flick around a few soft vibes today. Last week when I was down at AFTA, the Australian Fishing Trade show on the Gold Coast, I was fortunate enough to go down there with Frogley's Offshore to help the crew out at their stand. All the best fishing gear, all the main fishing gear brands, all the suppliers, retailers, distributors in Australia were all in one place at the convention centre. So it was like, fair to say, a kid in a candy store down there. It was amazing. But a guy called Jimmy, who I've known for a little while, came up to me and said, Luke, if you had to pick one Frogley's Offshore lure, one brand, one lure from the Atomic or Bass Day brands to fish with for a session, what would you use? So I thought about it long and hard, and I came up straight away with a 50mm Atomic Semi-Hardz vibe. This little guy here, okay? He's tiny, but this is one lure I'm going to use today. I'm not going to use another lure. If I catch something, I catch something. If I don't, well, I'm not going to change lures up every 20 minutes like you would to get the bite. I'm going to use this guy the whole time. 50mm, I like the dark colour, it's called Black Beauty. The reason I chose this, even though it's tiny, you'll still get barra, you'll still get salmon on it. I've caught barra to 74 centimetres, threadfin salmon to 90 centimetres on that tiny little 50mm lure, yet you'll still catch brim. So it catches a very wide diversity and array of species. It's 14 grams, so it's just over half an ounce. You can peg it out a long way. I'm fishing land-based here, and I'm going to try and reach those rocks across there without walking out too much, because it is sunrise, there is crocs around this place. Not the best time to be out there. It's soft as well, Atomic Semi-Hardz vibe, so if a fish grabs it, if they miss it, it feels like the real deal. They'll come back and smash it again. But the biggest thing was, I can cast it a long way. A lot of different fish eat it, from brim to barra, everything in between. Feels like the real deal. You just have to be careful with the hooks. Obviously they're light gauge hooks. You do have to set your drag appropriately, but yeah, I'm going to give it a crack today. I've caught a lot of good fish on that lure. If I catch fish, great. If I don't, then I'm not going to change the lure. I'll go home with nothing. So I'm going to use one lure today. I've got 2 hours before I need to be somewhere. One lure, 2 hours. Let's see what we get. I just want to prove how deadly these lures are. And because of that really wide, flat dorsal section, it vibrates so well. So you just throw them out, just give it a little bit of a subtle double hop, sink, pause, take up the slack, wind again, and just work it back, hopping it off the bottom. Let's give it a go. I'm excited. Righto. Just going to walk out a little bit. Like I said, I'm a bit hesitant to walk out too much, but I do want it because of the crocs that do live here. This place is well known for big crocs. The water is fairly clear. I can see a little bit around me. There's a bit of glare on the water being so early in the morning. As you can see, moon's still up, just as the sun's coming up over there. So hopefully that means something. The moon and sun are in the sky at the same time. Let's hope so. Just going to walk out. The water is pretty cool, but I'm hesitant to go any more than about knee deep at the moment. And as the tide recedes, I'll walk out that little bit further, but can cast this lure quite a long way. It's a big reason why I chose it as well. Plus, like I said, the size of it, nice and tiny, and you can work it back. Fish grab it, everything from brim to barra, everything in between. You can peg it out a mile. Let's see how we go, hey? Hopefully I can bring you a few fish. Like I said, I'm not changing lures. I'm hoping to catch a few fish. If I don't, I'm not changing lures today until I do. I just want to show how effective this lure can be. This is prime croc feeding time too, isn't it? Early morning. Sun's coming up nicely. Walked about 3.5 k's out here this morning, across a few hundred meters of channel, waist deep and hard flowing, so that took the breath out of me, made me pretty puffed. My little chicken legs were working hard to get through as soon as possible because I was freaking out for crocs. Really big run in the tide today. It was like a 6.4 meter high last night down to like a 0.2 or a 0.4 low. So you got about 6 meters of run today, like one of the biggest tides of the year. So this should drain out and be left with a nice deep hole over the other side where the rocks are. The water's flowing out pretty hard at the moment still, which is nice. I can get out a little bit further. Every few minutes that goes by, I can go out a few more meters. Throw it out, let it sink. There's a little bit of a gentle hop off the bottom. 1 or 2 gentle hops. Let it sink again, pause it. That's the retrieve I pretty much do the whole way in. Sometimes the fish actually grab it on the pause as it's sitting on the bottom doing absolutely nothing. They'll grab it then. It's pretty cool. Today I'm using an 8 to 16 pound Atomic Arrows rod with a 4000 spin reel, 20 pound braid and 30 pound leader. Relatively, you know, pretty medium barra gear, but it's such a small lure. You think, how do you cast that little lure with that gear? Relatively heavy-ish gear. Well, like I said, they're 14 grams, these lures, so you can punch them out a mile, even though they're tiny, which is awesome. This time of year too, the cooler weather, they say elephants eat peanuts, right? So Barramundi, who might be a bit more reluctant to feed when it's a bit cooler, will still eat a small offering, like this little 50 mil lure. Plus you've got shallower water here at the mouth of the creek. Shallow is usually warmer. There's a few rocks around which absorb heat from the sun. When the sun gets up, and puts it into the surrounding water column. So the water in the shallows and around the rocks is naturally going to be warmer than the rest. Water's pretty dirty today. We haven't had rain in quite a few weeks, so it's not discoloured from water, from rain, runoff. It's I reckon it's just the really big tides today. It's stirred it up big time. Like I said, there's about 6 meters of run today. Usually the water's nice and clean here, but it's pretty dirty. Thinking it's that big flow, big run. Getting a few bumps, but nothing's committed to it yet. Must be pretty small fish. It's only a tiny lure. They're not engulfing it. Must be tiny. A few bumps though is promising. In the right area. There's fish here. Only a matter of time. I find working these Atomic soft vibes that less is more. So you don't have to give it a massive rip like this to get it working. Just a subtle hop off the bottom is all you need to do to work it back. Less is more. Just nice and gentle. What have I got here? Took a really good run then. Screamed. Oh, it's got weight. It's a good fish. I don't know what I got, just on a little vibe. It's got some really good weight to it. Took a bunch of drag then. Please stay connected. I've only got 30-pound leader on. He's just coming with me at the moment. Just going to work him back towards the bank. He's going to run again in a sec. He's going to come to the shallows and he's going to run again. I don't know what I got. It's not a bad fish though. Oh, what is it? What is it? Oh, it's a blue salmon. Looks like a blue hooked in the belly. Wouldn't be surprised if it falls off because I foul hooked him. I'm going to back the drag off here so the hooks don't pull through. If he wants to run, he can run. It's a little blue salmon. I'll just bring him up onto the sandbar just here. So they've just been tapping at it. I've got this guy on the belly. But yeah, it's important he's not hooked well. And because of that, the hooks may well come out. So back the drag off. If he wants to run, he can run, so it doesn't pull through. When he gets tired, I'll bring him up on the sand here. Come on. I'll let this fish go anyway. Oh, come here, mate, honestly. There we go. Blue salmon, pretty common in the winter. Get them here at this spot a fair bit. On the vibe. Little blue salmon on the vibe, hooked him under the guts. Not the most conventional way to do it, but hey, first fish of the day. I'm gonna let him go anyway. These fish aren't too bad eating if you eat them fresh, bleed them straight away. But I've got to head to work after this, so I'm gonna let this guy go anyway. Put him back. See you, mate. Lens off. Got something here, jumped out of the water. I think it's probably another blue salmon. I'm just going to back that drag off a bit because my leader was a little bit chafed. If he wants to run, he can. Literally, oh, is it a barra? Could be a barra. It looked like I had a bit of a bucket mouth on him there. I'd be very excited if that's a barra. Slowly walking back to the bank. Ooh. Oh, decent fish. I've only got a 30-pound leader, very small lure. It could well have taken it down its gob. It is a barra. It is a barra. Oh yeah, awesome. Winter barra. Small little vibe. Please stay on there. I'm just going to back that drag off a bit. In case he wants to run, he can. Might not chafe through. It's a good fish. Oh, I just dropped it. I just dropped it. Spewing. Oh no. Damn. That was a barra. Oh! Hooked up again here. Had a nice run. Swimming towards me. I don't know what it is. Did have a nice run though. It's swimming towards me here. It's really hard to know what I got and how big it is. It did take a bit of drag. Oh, what do we got? Hopefully it's that barra that I just lost. Oh, come on, mate. Play the game. Ooh. Just going to back that drag off a bit. These hooks are light. It's a reasonable fish. Still haven't seen the bugger. What do we got? Forked tail. Blue salmon maybe. Or a big tarpon. What do we got? I think it's a big tarpon. Oh my god. Pumped up though. Decent tarpon. I'd rather that barra I lost though. Come here, mate. Let's try and beat you. There's a chunk of a tarpon. Come here, buddy. Solid fish. I wonder if you give me some stick. Saw that big forked tail and thought blue salmon, but nah, tarpon. I was really hoping it was that barra or another barra, like the one I just lost. It did jump before, I knew it was a barra. Spewing, I lost that guy. Could have lost a tarpon, wouldn't have been so pissed off. Oh, it's a chunk of a tarpon, huh? Florida style. Not quite. There we go. Hey, settle down. It's not a bad fish. It's an animal. Good tarpon, this guy. Oh, settle down, mate. Ah, chill, chill, chill. There we go. Not a bad fish, actually. Good tarpon. So, lost a barra, caught a tarpon. What else did we get? We got that little blue salmon earlier on. 3 different species on the atomic semi-hard soft vibe in about half an hour, 40 minutes. Spewing, I lost that barra. I am counting it as a species though, so you can just see diversity of things you can catch on these lures. And he was probably a legal barra before too, so tiny lure. Like I said, elephants eat peanuts. Not a big barra, not calling it an elephant, but bigger fish will definitely eat a small lure. Okay, mate. Off you go. Go that way. Other way, mate. Oh, you'll work it out. Come on. Alrighty. Something here. Oh, what I got? Fish on. Feels a bit cod-like. Maybe another species if it is. I don't know what I got. It's not doing anything. I'm thinking it's a cod for sure. It's not fighting, it's not kicking, it's just floundering around. What is it? Little codly? Literally the latest cod ever. Picked it, but do nothing. Little cod, little estuary cod on the vibe. Not big one. Did absolutely nothing in the water, but another species on the vibe. I just pinned him. Yeah, g'day guys, wrapping up today's session on the little vibe. So, got a few fish. I'm still gutted after losing that barramundi. I really wanted to show you the diversity of fish you can catch on these, from your small fish, which, you know, I got a small cod. No small brim today and grunner, but you usually get them here as well, like 25 centimeter fish, 20 centimeter fish. You do get small fish, as you saw by that cod. But then I got a decent blue salmon, I got a big tarpon, and I lost a barra that would have been probably just on legal, maybe a bit over. Really hoping you can see that by the footage, see it jumping out of the water. When I look back, I hope I captured that. But I just wanted to show the diversity of fish you can catch on these little lures. Little atomic semi-hard vibe, 50 mil. Write that down. If you're going to have one lure in your tackle box, make sure it's this. You can peg it out a long way. It's nice and small, so a bigger fish will still eat a small lure, as you can see. You can cast it a long way. You can work the whole water column with a vibe as well, because it sinks. You can work it off the bottom. You can come up mid-water. You can bring it to the top. And because it's soft too, fish usually come back and have another go. So got a big tarpon, got the blue salmon, got a small cod, and lost a decent barra today in a couple of hours, 2 hours with this little lure, and countless other hits as well. So I just really wanted to show what you can do with this lure. If you are serious about your lure fishing, you need to get a couple of these in your tackle tray. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. It really helped me out, really appreciate it. See you next time. Thank you.